Now then YouTube, I'm the TOFF man and welcome back to the complete guide to Thaumcraft 5. In the last episode we started on the Alchemy tab and there's certainly a lot more stuff to be able to go in this tab just yet. But we're going to make a start this episode by just saying if you're enjoying this series guys, please go ahead and leave a like, it really does help. I am currently still ill, I'm doing all of this round about the same time so that you guys get to know what is coming in Thaumcraft 5. But also, down in the description below are a set of timestamps, and if you're looking for something that is particular to you and what you want to see, you don't have to watch the entire video to be able to find that one particular item. You can just click on the timestamp and it will take you exactly where you need to go. So last episode we did Magic Tallow, Alchemical Duplication and the Everfull Urn. It's now time to go down the Entropic Processing route. So the Entropic Processing, you can see, will actually break items down. So you've got Peditio, 2 Peditio, and stone bricks into here will give you cracked stone bricks. And that's usually something that you can't get previously. Another thing is bone meal. You can actually get a load more bone meal, well, one more bone meal, from your bone if you put it in with 1 Peditio. And that is Entropic Processing, really is. That is literally it. After getting that, guys, you will have access to Bottled Taint and Liquid Death. Both of these are pretty useful. So, Bottled Taint. Clearing taint is one thing, but ever considered spreading it? By concentrating and collecting the essence of taint into a bottle, it's simply a matter of dropping it somewhere to create a patch of taint. It's up to you how you decide you want to do this. So you can get a bottle of taint with 8 Vitium, a phial of Essentia with 8 Vitium in it. Basically, that's just a phial of Essentia. 8 Aqua and 8 Vitium inside the crucible. And that will give you a bottle of taint. And again, basically, it's exactly what it says on the tin. We go and grab one. Let's go over here. And we're just going to chuck it over there. And that creates a bottle of taint. Now, what you can do with this is you can change like animals and stuff like that. You can get certain things that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else in the world unless you had a patch of taint to be able to get them from. So there's certain drops and stuff that that mobs and that drop when you kill them after there. So ooh, I've actually tainted the area quite a bit. You remember in previous episode I showed you the Ignis right there. It took it from the middle and pushed it on the outside just because of these totems. Well, look at the Ordo now. We've got a nice little mountain going on in the center there. And remember, you can have these, for example. This is the attraction one, which is attracting all the Order. Just imagine if you could have 6 of these that are attracting everything into the one chunk that you're in. Oops. And then you can put that straight into there. So as you can see, have we actually run out of looks like we've run out of terror, completely run out of terror there. Interesting. But anyways, I digress. That is the bottled taint. Liquid Death. This liquid is so dangerously toxic that virtually nothing can prevent it from dissolving flesh, bone and even harder substances. Nothing alive, or that even displays a semblance of life, can survive it. Apart from the obvious practical applications, this vile substance has another interesting property. Any essentia, a dissolved creature possessed, form into crystals that can be harvested. I will leave it to the reader's imagination what those crystals can be put to. So basically 32 Mortis, 32 Peditio and 32 Vitreous and a bucket used as a catalyst will get you a bucket of Liquid Death. And then what it explains, guys, is this. Bucket of Death. Let me go and grab some. Come over here. I'm just going to create a nice little pool of Liquid Death. Because why not? There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and use our old friend, the Creeper. And then kill him. Now what will happen is we'll drop his items. The items won't get burnt or anything. I'm in creative, so it's not a very good idea to do what I'm about to do. Jump in there and get the items. Now, we've got 2 gunpowder, but also we should have... Do we not have it? It doesn't seem so. Let me go and kill another creeper, see if it drops it this time. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to see right there. You can get what's called crystallized essence. And you can use this, guys, it's Ignis. It's Ignis times 1. And you can use this in certain, like, with the crucible. Chucking it in to get 1 point of crucible and so on and so forth. And I think if I remember rightly, later on down the line, there is like the alchemical, the slurry, what you can chuck it in, and you can actually dissolve it back into normal essentia. So it's a very interesting property to have, especially if you're going to be using the liquid death as maybe like a mob trap or something like that. So you can get a ton of one type of essence. It really is very, very useful indeed. So anyway, going from here, Magic Tallow, you'll also unlock Alchemical Manufacture. You have mastered the basics of alchemy, and now you're ready to try creating more complex substances from scratch. You have formulated several recipes that create normally hard-to-get substances and items via alchemy. So, to get a cobweb, which is something that you really can't get in Minecraft, you can put a string in with 2 vinculum, and you'll get a cobweb back for that. It also goes for moss stone. You can also grab ice as well by putting in snow with a gellum and ordo, which is pretty awesome, guys. From here, you will unlock some things that do the opposite as what Taint does. This will actually clean Taint up and also clean warp effects from your person. The Ethereal Bloom. The Ethereal Bloom is if you've got a tainted land, say for instance, the Ethereal Bloom you can actually plant in a tainted land. So let me show you. Let's go do it by here. This is all taint. Now I can plant that right there, and that will get to work straight away by clearing up the taint that is around the Ethereal Bloom. As you can see, it's doing a very good job of that, and it will go ahead and continue to do that. Now I'm not sure on I'm not entirely sure on the range of it, but I'm pretty sure it will clean up all of this bits of taint here. If I put it there, it's definitely do it if I put it there. So we'll leave that to do that. Slowly but surely restores land corrupted by mystical means into its former glory. This includes blight known as Taint. While it cannot combat Taint directly, few tainted growths can survive outside their natural environment for long and tend to die back. The flower only purifies the land bathed in its light out of a range of about 8 blocks, so that's something to keep in mind there. Moving on, guys, is something called Purifying bath salts. They were in the last iteration of Thaumcraft. And it's the first thing that you can get to start combating the warp effects that you can get by going down the line of forbidden knowledge. Warp is a danger for even most careful thaumaturges. For those that have done a bit too much dabbling, warp effects are probably more than just an annoyance. Purifying bath salts help with that. Simply tossing these salts into water will turn the water into a silvery, purifying liquid that soothes away the stresses of the day and brings temporary relief from the effects of warp. So basically, let's go and grab ourselves a bucket of water and some purifying bath salts. Here we go. Did I seriously just get a bucket? Apologies. A water bucket. Put that there. Now, what it said was just chuck the purifying bath salts into there. They will dissolve into a silver liquid eventually when it's ready. Hello. There we go. It's now changed into a silvery liquid. And I must have some warp effects from doing all the forbidden knowledge that I've done. I can simply stand in here. The silvery liquid will disappear, but if I can get myself out of creative mode, you will see I now have Warp Ward for 27 minutes. And you will not get warp effects for 27 minutes when you take this stuff. So it's extremely useful if you're getting really annoyed with warp effects. And believe me, they can get very, very annoying. A couple of other things to note, guys. The Arcane Spa. This is actually very, very good indeed. You can craft it with 2 blocks of quartz, 4 arcane stone, a brass gear, a warded jar, and some iron bars. Now let me show you what this can do. Arcane Spa. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do I'll do a 3x3. Why not? And we'll put the spa in the center down here. Now you can actually mix it with the ingredient. So say for example, I can put some purifying bath salts into here, and it has a built-in tank as well. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what this can do. I'm going to get an everfull urn. There we go. And I'm going to put that right there. And this should start to fill this, or at least I hope it will. It might not fill from the top. Will it fill from there? It it doesn't seem to want to fill. Now that is an absolute shame. I was expecting it to be able to fill from here. So basically, when you... Oh, maybe it doesn't actually fill it then. Do you put the water straight into there? Okay, I'm not entirely sure what is happening here, but it doesn't seem to want to take my water. For whatever reason, I really don't know why, but it doesn't seem to want to take my water whatsoever. Now, I'm not sure if that's a bug or what, but what I will say is I need to get back into creative mode. What will normally happen is the water that will be inside here, it would say mix with ingredient. You can put some bath salts into there. It will mix the bath salts with the water and then spray it up through this little gap right here and then fill a 5x5 up to a 5x5 area. It will either mix it with the ingredient, so it will turn into that silvery liquid, and then that will be a 5x5, or the water, if you've got it on just the fluid, it will pump up water and then be a 5x5 area. So just keep that in mind there, guys. That is how you can use the Arcane Spa. Not entirely sure why it's not accepting my water bucket, but that's something that I'll have to poke Asnanor about. Maybe I'm doing something wrong that you guys can let me know about. I've literally tried everything, and there's no golems or anything at the moment to be able to go ahead and fill them up for me. So I'm not entirely sure what's wrong there, but that is the Arcane Spa. The next thing, guys, is the Sanitizing Soap. Now, with the Arcane Spa and also the Purifying bath salts can do your body. So in other words, you can get like warp ward and stuff like that to stop you getting the warp effects. But if you want to cure your mind of the warp effects permanently, then you can use Sanitizing Soap. Now you will have to use quite a bit of this, guys. Cleaning the body is easy enough, but once warp becomes a nuisance, you need something that can clean the mind as well. This soap cleans the flesh, but the effects it has on your psyche is what truly makes it special. When used, it has a small chance of reducing non-permanent warp and will remove all temporary warp. Using it while under the effects of warp ward or while standing in purifying fluid will increase your odds. So it pretty much does exactly what it says in the tin, guys. Any non-permanent warp, it has a chance of reducing. Apologies, guys, my throat really is quite bad. So, and it will remove all temporary warp. Basically, when you go ahead and make a forbidden knowledge discovery, you will get different types of warp depending on what it is that you've managed to research, what it is that you've done, and some of it will be permanent warp that you will not be able to get rid of. It doesn't matter what you do. Also, some of it is non-permanent warp, so I think people call this sticky warp, that will stick to you, but you've got a small chance of getting it off with the Sanitizing Soap. Also, there's the rest of it, which is a large amount of it, is temporary warp. Warp that really just is on you at the moment, but will dissipate in time. As long as you don't keep doing stuff that involves warp, like doing more forbidden knowledge or doing something, crafting something that requires forbidden knowledge or anything like that, as long as you don't do anything in the dark arts, you will be fine, and that temporary warp will eventually dissipate. But this will reduce it and just get rid of it entirely if you do that. So guys, that is going to be the end of this particular episode. Next episode we'll be back and we'll start to hit this right hand side, which is where all the interesting stuff is, guys. All the essential distillation and the essential tubes and all of the bits and bobs that you can remember from the past. So I will be back for next episode. Until then, I've been the TOFF Man. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.